Welcome to story time. Alright, so go ahead, start the story.
The story is
Speak loudly, because
how we got stranded on an island off of Puerto Rico called it was Culebra Island in Puerto Rico, off of Puerto Rico, we actually thought we had enough time to spend the day because you have to take a ferry from the mainland to get to the island. So, we thought we got on the boat. We got on it like kind of late in the afternoon, right?
yeah, it was like 4 o'clock.
It wasn't that late.
It was like 4 o'clock.
Yeah?
Yes, go ahead.
So
4 p.m. we decided to go to this island in Puerto Rico called Culebra. So we ended up paying for this ferry. And we didn't know how far it was from the mainland. The island was.
And the ferry ride was like 45 minutes.
That shit was like 2 hours, man. What are you talking
about? It was not
2 hours, darling.
Not 2 hours.
It was like a 2-hour ride. Yes, it was, because it got dark right away. It was like 2 hours.
It did not. Yes, when we got to the... What are you talking about? When we got to the island, it was still daylight.
I know. It was 6 o'clock, okay? From 4 to 6 is daylight.
It was not. Still. I don't think.
Anyway, it was like 2 hours. If you Google it, it's probably going to be like 2 hours.
It was like 45 minutes an hour.
It took forever to get there.
So we were like, we're thinking it's like a 15-minute.
We figured we're going to go to this island. We're gonna like a tour around it for, a couple of hours and then leave from the island.
Because we wanted to go to this beach over
So mind you, check it out. We were, it was me and her and
Savannah.
Savannah was only like what?
She was like 11 months old.
Like 11 months old. So check it out. Go ahead to the story.
So we get on the ferry. We're thinking it's 15 minutes. It ends up being like whatever.
2 hours.
2 hours. I say an hour long. And we're like, all right. So we're like, what time does the next ferry leave?
When we get there.
Yeah, when we get there, we find, we asked them, what time does the next ferry leave? They were like, this is the last.
That was the last ferry to go back. I mean, that was the last ferry. So there's no ferry for the rest of the day.
Right, and when we asked, the ferry had already left.
Right. While we asked, we already missed the ferry going back to the mainland.
When you come off of the ferry, there's like a shopping kind of mall or whatever, and we were inside looking at snorkel gear and all this stuff, and then we asked somebody in there, what time did the ferry leave, and that's when they told us that was the last one that just left, and we were like,
oh shit.
So
we were in trouble.
I had 2 bottles of milk, and we had no clothes with us, nothing.
I don't care about the clothes,
And,
it's just for me like, what's the next? What am I gonna do from here?
The problem was also that that Savannah was so little. So,
right, that's the problem. It was just me and her sleeping in the street. Yeah, I don't care,
Pampers and this, that, and the other. So anyway, within that shopping area, there was like a little travel agent in there. So we were able to get a freaking, by luck, a hotel room. To go, to spend the night in. So we go to the hotel, and it was. First of all, the hotel, it had no air conditioner in the room. It was broken.
There was an air conditioner, but the air conditioner was shot. Yeah. It wasn't working.
It was broken.
It was blazing hot in that room.
Every 5 minutes we were taking a shower, a cold shower.
Trying to cool
and
down.
I was like, I can't stay in here. And there was mad mosquitoes in there. We were getting chomped up. And I was like, my kid can't stay in here. We got to go outside, blah, blah, blah. So we ended up going outside.
No, we went to go get something.
No, right. But we got there before 6 o'clock because the stores were still open. They told us that everything closes at 6 o'clock.
So
we got there. So we did get there
before. It was an hour and 45 minutes. But go ahead.
So we were like, we gotta find something to eat out here, blah blah blah. So this island is basically when you come off the ferry. When you come off of the ferry, that's like the main area. So that's where all the stores are at, or any restaurant or whatever, everything is just in that area. If you go deeper into the island, it's just like forest and beach and all that. So we ended up we gotta find something to eat,
Right.
So there was this Chinese restaurant.
We didn't go. I believe we went downstairs to find that we could change the room, but it was closed or something like that. You know, or some within that range or something like that.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Able to
we went
switch up the room
first, and then look to go
right.
get the room changed, or you know whatever, or we went to.
All right, so we went to go find something to eat
and there was a Chinese restaurant there, and we were like,
we
it was
like
the only
Chinese
thing
food?
that was open.
Yeah.
So we didn't have a choice but to get the Chinese food. So I was like, you know, well, we can't go wrong with, you know, fried rice, and I got chicken and broccoli.
I was like, yeah, we get some chicken wings, you know, whatever.
Whatever he got, I don't even remember what he got.
Chicken wings, and
so,
Coke fried rice, I think it was, something like that.
It was so nasty.
Well, it took a long time to cook it.
It took a long time to cook, and then it was just so nasty. The food was disgusting.
Yeah,
we couldn't eat it. So we were like just trying to pick a little bit, like the rice and
the
stuff.
chicken was like too rubberish.
It was not chicken.
I don't know what that was chicken.
I
don't know what that was, but we were hungry too, like really hungry.
Like, you know, we're just gonna have to like nibble on at least a little bit of rice. Everything was gross. The rice was gross. Everything was just not right there. So we ended up going to go back to the hotel. No, we went back to the hotel.
Right, it was too hot.
And it was too hot, and we were like,
let's go outside and just see what what's out there.
We went back to the travel agent to see if
we could switch the room.
But it was closed already because everything closed at 6 o'clock on the island.
Yeah.
So we were like,
so we decided to walk a little bit. That's what we did. We walked a little bit.
We walked a little bit, and by this time it was already like 8 o'clock around there because it started getting dark already.
So we ended up finding a bar. We was like, fuck it, let's go in the bar.
A bar restaurant.
That was like the only thing that was open.
That was the only thing that opened, and it just opened at like 8 o'clock. Right. And that was like the hot spot of the island.
Right, that was the hot spot of the island.
To go to. So we were like, I was like, I'm gonna spend the night in here because it was cooler, and at least we had food, beverages. They had pizza there, they had soda. Yeah. So it was like we hit the fucking jackpot.
So inside the bar, while we sitting in the bar, I think it was on the left hand side, a guy comes up. I think it was on the left hand side. I believe he came and he sat down and he was like ordering something. And that's when you noticed that it was the travel agent.
No, because he came, that was somebody else.
Okay.
But I did notice the travel agent and his wife. Right. They were both at the travel agency.
Right, the one that booked us the room was in the bar.
So they ended up walking in with their kid and everything, and I was like, oh my God, this is heaven! Yes, God answered our prayers. So I was like, I went up to them. I was like, I am so sorry to bother you, and I know you're off already, but the air conditioner is broken. And I was like, and I have the baby, and the wife was like really like, she was like, oh my God, no, of course, come, So we walked back to the
hotel,
the travel agent,
right? Because
she went to get a key for another room for us to stay in. So she was like, the only thing I have, and it was like an apartment. It had like 2 bedrooms, a whole kitchen, a living room, and everything. She was like, that's all we have. So I was like, I don't care if you have a 2x4 room, right, so as long as they had air conditioner and a bed.
So they ended up swapping us for that better room. We didn't pay anything extra, anything like that. But they swapped us that better room, and the air conditioner was
kicking ass. It was too cold, but we didn't complain. And then like when we went back into the bar because we ended up talking to them. We found out that they were from here. Right. They were from New York or something.
I don't know.
They were from here, but they were, and they ended up moving over there and opening a business, and so on and so forth. So we stood talking to them for a little bit, and then we ate. We had some pizza, some soda, and I was able to freshen up salve and everything, and we were cool. So the next day, our main reason to go to the island was because you wanted to check out that beach over there and snorkel, because there was a reef over there, so he wanted to go snorkel the reef, and
so the next day we
got on a bus.
No, not before we got on the bus. we were like, oh, it's not that far. Let's walk.
Oh, he wanted to. No, that night.
It was a night.
Remember the
Right.
night before you were like, oh, let's try to walk to see how far. But then as we were walking, there came like a big field.
Right, but there was nowhere to.
We couldn't know
no
which way to go.
There was no sidewalk either. There was just
Right.
like roadways. So we're like, oh, we gotta go back.
And I was like, it's getting dark. I am not walking through the forest in the dark.
It actually wasn't that far, but by foot it seemed like it was far.
Right.
But you needed to, to drive there.
So the next morning, we got on that charter bus or whatever, and that bus specifically told everybody to the, people that wanted to go to the beach got on there, and we went over to the beach over there, and it was like a very private beach.
Yeah.
And
it was nice though.
It was really
nice.
There was
coral and stuff like that in the.
I didn't get to go because I had Sav. Yeah. I was left with Sav because he went and thought he was on vacation by himself, and he was snorkeling in the beautiful water, and he was like, oh, you have to see. I can't see you in the water.
It was nice though. I liked it.
So I pretty much stayed on the beach with Sav. I took her into the water, and it was like super clear. It was like pretty secluded, the beach. There was like hardly anybody on it, but I'm like, why didn't we take any pictures? Our camera.
Yeah, our camera
got
messed up when we went into the
rainforest.
To the rainforest, something happened and just shorted out. And
we think like moisture got into it. So
I got it. I ended up
like, why don't we have
sending
pictures
it back
from there
to the manufacturer, and they fixed it. So that So, and then we ended up that was the day we ended up going.
Yeah, we ended up staying the day on the beach, and we found out what time the ferry left.
It was leaving.
Yo,
man, I jumped on that ferry. I was like, all right, we're going to the next one. Let's get out of here.
So once we found out, what time the ferry
that was so scary though, man, because as far as like, okay, what are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do? We gotta rent the hotel. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta be fast.
The island is not like there was really quick. Any hotel that you could just walk. There was like no Holiday Inn or anything. Like the hotels were like houses.
It's just an island, a really small island.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, okay, you're gonna get.
It's really just for residential, residents that live on the island. It's not.
And really maybe some tourists come there.
Right, just to come and see
really
it and
small
stuff.
Island.
So we got there. We ended up spending the day on the beach, and then we got on the ferry and came back. And thank God I had enough Pampers and enough milk to last us, through the day for Sal, because like I said, she was like only 11 months. So that was an interesting. That was strategy.
That was scary. I had to think so fast,
But and then there's nobody like out or anything like that, I'm like, oh my God, if we didn't find that travel agent, we would have been sleeping like outside on the stairs of someplace.
Literally, we would have been there. Because usually in that island, people don't rent, like, there's no hotels, so they rent like other people's homes that they're renting out, like that, That's what they do, But we're not from that island.
And that travel agent was like the only agent there. So they knew where everything was, and anything you wanted to get, you would have to get through them. So we were like, oh God. So thank God we got lucky and we found them, number one, to get a room, and then found them a second time to fix the problem of the broken air conditioner. So, I was getting so pissed off though in the room, like, I can't stay in here. I'm not gonna stay in here tonight. I don't care. It's so freaking hot. I got the baby. I'm itching like mosquito bites.
Okay, that's it. All right, so that's it, guys. I'm gonna let you guys go, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for watching Story Time.